What's up, guys? I'm Alan Branch from Project49, and I've got with me today my longtime buddy, Byron Branham, and we're going to talk today a little bit about mental stress in a post-COVID-19 world. Byron, good to see you, buddy. How long has it been?
Oh, like forever?
Like,
I think.
How many years?
Like back in the 50s or something.
I don't think it's been that long. It's Project 49, not Project 109. So I think we're, how many years? 20?
Let's see. Yeah. Oh, easy. Yeah. Was it 90s, the mid 90s?
Yeah. So you trained with me here in North Carolina, and where are you now, and what are you doing? And tell us a little bit about your qualifications to talk about this topic.
Sure. Well, currently I live up here in the mountains up in Eagle Rock, Virginia. But I work at Total Life Counseling, which is in Roanoke, Virginia. Let's see, I'm a nationally board certified counselor, a certified clinical trauma professional, and a licensed professional counselor here in Virginia.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what do you deal with commonly? What do you deal with?
I work with everybody really, men, women, kids, couples, families. But the cornerstone of my practice is with PTSD and trauma.
Wow. So obviously our topic today is the topic everywhere is COVID-19, but today, not the virus is not per se what we want to talk about, but more so the implications mentally that this is going to have on us over time. And we'll talk about the now and then what possibly might be the later, but what are people going through right now, and what is it mentally? What are they struggling with?
What I'm running into a lot, Alan, is a lot of the effects of isolation, particularly for folks who went into this, who walked into this season with pre-existing mental health conditions, as it were. So those have become more challenging now that folks have had to isolate, stay away from support systems, stay away from social interaction. That's been a real challenge. And that's for those folks. For folks generally, and I think we spoke a little bit about this, is really what we would call self-care concerns. Now that we're in this season where schedules are non-existent and my normal routine has stopped being what it was, we're getting folks, their sleep schedules are off, staying up all night, binging on the Netflix, getting up at all hours of the day. And the human animal just really, generally speaking, isn't designed for that kind of fluidity. We really do better when we can have a stable schedule for our daily lives.
So yeah, I can definitely see. I'm fortunate that I'm able to do a lot of online coaching and training, and I'm still making myself, even if I don't have the clients, I get up, I have a normal routine. I try to do it every morning. I get up, I get my B vitamins ready because I don't do coffee. Do my B vitamins. I sit on the couch. I go through, answer my messages, make daily posts for the day and scheduling, and try to move on with the day. So I could definitely see how being it could be a problem to not be on any sort of schedule. So is that one of the, if you had to give 3 things of advice to people that are stuck at home, is that one of them? Keep up some sort of daily schedule?
Yeah, establish a routine as best you can. Sleep is paramount. Make sure you're getting to bed at a regular time and waking up at a regular time. Sleep is when we reconstitute all of our neurotransmitters that help us live, move, and have our being. And if we don't get that that quality sleep on a regular basis, those things diminish over time. And then we do see the presentation of things like depression and anxiety and the sort of things that creates.
So number one thing for advice is set a schedule. Would you make, or is it, tell me?
Oh yeah, absolutely. As best you can, establish a normal daily routine. Get up at the same time, go to bed at the same time. Try to eat at the same times because your body gets attuned to a regular schedule of feeding. And these are the things that you need to do, not only to maintain mental health, but your physical health as well.
What about the bombardment? You remember the old? You'll remember the old movie Short Circuit. The robot Johnny Five was constantly needing input. Remember that?
I might be old enough to remember that.
Johnny Five need input. The little robot was trying to take in as much information. It seems like everybody now is taking in too much news information because, oh my gosh, whether you're a proponent of fake news or not, there's just a lot of news, whether it's fake or not. And most of it's bad because bad news sells. So how much is that negative input or the stress of worry being fueled by the media?
Well, you know, a wise man once said that we are fearfully and wonderfully made. And part of that gift is the ability to acclimate to the environment that I find myself in. Now, here in our modern age, we have a lot of influence as to what that environment looks like. So if I am filling it with negative news, things that cause me worry, things that cause me anxiety, yeah, I'm going to get in sync with that. And so, yeah, turn off that tube.
So would you make that your one of your top three? So we have stay on a schedule, maybe limit input or at least the negative input. What would be your third piece of advice for somebody coping for having to stay at home?
I spoke about the isolation earlier, and again, I guess we would say with the kind of troubles that technology can bring with it, it can also be a very useful tool for us. So even though we are stuck in the quarantine, we still can reach out and stay connected to the people that are close to us, the people that we value. We get the Zoom room experience, or the Skype and the Facebook. So these things can serve a beneficial purpose if we use them properly. So that would be probably one of my top three is to stay connected as best you can.
So right now that's what we're doing. We know that the country's still pretty much shut down. Some places are opening up. Even in states where people are where they open up, people are still somewhat limiting what they do because there's a little bit of hesitation. So even when every state says, "Hey, we're free, open up," there's still going to be some hesitation, and the world's just going to be kind of difficult to go back to the way it was. What do you foresee being the biggest problem when things return normal, but people aren't normal upstairs?
So that's the big crystal ball question. What's it going to look like? Because we haven't been here before. This generation just hasn't. So it's going to be a new and weird experience for all of us. What I am concerned about, and kind of alluded to it earlier, with all the negative press and the craziness that's kind of being fed to us on a daily basis. One of my concerns is, are we even going to like each other once we get out there? Because a lot of animosity is being built up right now across the spectrum, and so I'm going to be really concerned and intrigued to see how that plays out.
And with that, part of that, you're speaking of everybody's input on social media and their responses to their friends and their views. Open it, don't open it. Wear a mask, don't wear a mask. Fake news, not fake news. Be scared to death. No, everything's fine. It's like there's two camps and nobody's in the middle, man. It's like everybody is. I can see what you mean. Sometimes I think my thumb muscle is going to get super strong from unfollowing, because I'm like, all these people are crazy on both sides of the camp. I'm like, man, relax. You're coming back together soon. Yeah. So what could I do? So mentally, I'm in a post-COVID-19 society. I'm being released back out into the world. And now I've got some reservations about things. How do I handle that trauma? Because I'm still going to be thinking about those people that maybe I didn't agree with, or man, I might lose a few social skills if I've been in too much containment. How do I what are some things that I could possibly do? And I know I'm really putting you on the spot with some of these. What are some things I can do to help myself deal?
So it's interesting. We're going to share a lot of similarities with folks who have been released from long-term hospitalization, let's say, or even maybe incarceration. I don't want to make too much of that, but we have been isolated from each other from a long time, and so we've probably forgotten how to deal with each other. So some of the things we can do is start to remember how to do that. Let's remember how to be courteous. Let's remember how to show kindness and respect. Let's take a breath. We've made it through it, and we all just have to kind of hold each other's hands and get to where we're going.
Well, I was driving over today and I saw a neat little road sign. I think it possibly the Chamber of Commerce or the Rotary Club. It might have been their logo, just posted in the middle of town. And you used to live here, so you know what that small town is like. And it was just a little sign that had their logo on it, said, "We're all in this together."
Nice.
So I was like, oh, that's what I said. I was, oh, nice. I like that. Agree or disagree, whatever. That's a fact. Nobody's bulletproof, and nobody can. It's affecting everybody in some capacity. So what do you think? Do you think it's going to be a very strange world when everything goes back up? And how long would you because we're not going to have the benefit of having you, Handy, or I guess we can here, but we're not going to have the therapy. We're not going to have the chance to call a therapist helping us through all this. How long will it take us to get back to something that is somewhat normal?
Wow. Great question. And I don't think anybody can give you an honest answer. It's going to depend on what the actions of our leadership does. It's going to depend on what the economic situation looks like when we get out. So yeah, there are a lot of factors that go into that. It could be very smooth and we all do just fine. And if it's mishandled, it could be very tumultuous.
Well, it's something to be concerned about that I don't hear people talking about, because this is looking, I mean, we're dealing with it now, but we're also looking slightly to the future. What's it going to be like? Eventually it'll be over. So what does that world look like? And that's why I wanted to talk to you today, just to get some insight on sort of what we could do. And I do like all your advice. I'm happy that those are 3 things that I am doing, and I'm staying on a schedule. And that's an important thing. I am getting plenty of sleep and I am staying connected. So any other tip you'd like to add on to anything like that for those people? Because I do see them online. They're struggling. They're stuck at home. They're losing. They feel like they're losing it. Anything else you would say to them?
Mm-hmm. A couple of things that can lend themselves when we find ourselves in situations where we might be frightened, we might be anxious, confused. One of the things we can do, if we have any kind of spirituality, we can certainly intensify that and practice with that. We can also develop, outside of that, we can develop meditation skills, self-regulation, relaxation skills, and really just start to lower that overall internal temperature and try to make ourselves, put ourselves into a better place as much as we can on our own.
Well, I know you're a man of faith, as am I. How important is that right now for people? And, because I know sometimes they're thinking, well, if God exists, where is he now? Mm. God is still right there. Are you looking for him or not? Maybe he's giving you an opportunity to find it. Mm-hmm. What do you think?
Yeah. Well, for me personally, just through this experience, I mentioned intensifying your spirituality. I've relied a lot more on prayer and a lot more study, doing a lot more of that, digging through the Word. And that's brought me it's brought me a lot of peace and tranquility. As the old saints would say, equanimity, just to encounter life as it presents itself. So for me, that's been pivotal.
Well, maybe that's the best advice we could possibly give somebody is maybe they could look a little harder for to answer some of the big three. Who am I? Where did I come from? And why am I here? Because if you could answer all three of those, you'd be pretty focused, wouldn't you?
Yeah, that would help a lot.
Well, man, it's great to talk to you. I don't want to take up too much of your time because I know you're busy. I hope you don't get busier as this comes around. Yeah. I've got a comment here that I want to read to you. It says that this event forced people that never dreamed of being an entrepreneur to take on somewhat of an entrepreneur schedule and mentality. Yeah. So that was one of the tips that I gave people, when this is over, what new skill did you develop? What's your new hustle? Did your fitness level improve? Did you jump on something? And he's exactly right. It's turned some people into things that they weren't. What did it do? It sort of knocked down the barrier to get out of the comfort zone.
Yeah.
So, well, again, I appreciate your time today, buddy. I'm sure people love to hear. Just have a, you know how I am. We want to have a plan, right? So no matter what's going on when this is over, we need some sort of mental plan on how we're going to deal with it when that time comes.
And I didn't want to get away before I could share this with the folks at home. This is a blast from the past. Don't know if you can see it.
I know what it is.
You know what that is?
Yeah, tell them.
Yeah. So, yeah, this is from back in 1996. This is my official Alan Branch's American Martial Arts System black belt. And I've held that for all this time, and I'm super proud to have it.
Do you remember that test day?
Totally.
I remembered. It was great. I think we tested 4 of you in the same day, didn't we?
I think that's right.
I tested 4 of you. I wonder if I could still go that many rounds in a row.
No doubt.
Well, yeah, it was great. I remember it very clearly. And interesting enough, you showed me that right before we started. And the date on that is April 27th.
That's right. Yeah.
And coincidentally, this happens to be the day that I reach out and you said 96.
That's right.
96. Yep. Wow. So almost to the day we get back in touch. It's been quite a while. Well, man, again, thanks a lot for your time. Might reach out to you again when this is all over and sort of get your feedback of the state of things. And it's great to see you. And it's great to hear, what's great is a voice of calm. Your voice is like, here's what we need to do. Because people are panicking and they need some focus.
Yeah. Well, like we say, panic breeds panic and calm breeds calm.
And you bred a little calm with us today, and we really do appreciate it. Guys, I'm Alan Branch from Project 49. Listen, if you want advice, coaching on fitness, health, lifespan, and longevity for people over 40, and actually it's for people of all ages, but we tend to find out that people over 40 tend to listen, Byron. I don't know what it is. When they're a little younger than 40, they tend to be a little more hard-headed on some of the training. Not everybody, but we targeted an age group of people that are like, hey, I'm not invincible. What can I do to stay strong and healthy for as long as I can while I'm on this earth? And that's the goal of Project 49. So guys, subscribe to the channel. More great content coming your way later. And guys, this is Byron Branham. Thanks again, Byron. You're the man. You remember your martial arts salute, don't you? Yeah, attaboy. All right, man. We'll see you soon, and thanks again.
All right, man. We'll see you.